This introductory message is an appeal to YouTube. Recently, I uploaded this video and it was restricted to 18 years plus of age for viewing by YouTube. All of the content is all taken from your very own platform, readily available and unrestricted to view. The only thing I did was view all this content at length and edit it together into a cohesive narrative. There are many teenage boys and young men who follow Andrew Tate because they think he's a good person and a role model. The truth is, Andrew Tate has hoodwinked these young men, lying about himself and his crimes in every mainstream public interview he's ever conducted. He has exploited women in order to exploit men. The purpose of this video is to show his lies juxtaposed with the truth, which is him self-incriminating himself. I want to show these young men that he isn't the person they think he is or the role model they need. If YouTube age restricts this video, it will limit the amount of young men I can reach. If I can't show them that he's an amoral person, they'll never believe it without the evidence. I've did my best to censor the content by editing out over 40 times he's used strong profanity. Aside from that, I can't do much else. If you remove the content, it'll remove the impact of the severity of his lies. If you age restrict the video, it'll limit the amount of people that can be reached, that need to be reached. So I kindly ask not to impose limits on it. Thank you.
So why don't you just give us a little introduction to who you are for guys who don't know you. What's your history? How did you get into what you got into? Give us some of that.
Okay, so Andrew Tate, I'm a retired kickboxing world champion, 4-time world champion. I ended up in the whole male-female dating space kind of on accident. For 4 years, I ran a webcam studio, which people find very interesting. I had naked girls sitting on the internet talking to guys, and they all worked for me. So I guess in many ways I was a digital pimp. So when I joined Twitter and these kind of things after Trump's election, I kind of jumped on Twitter and the internet, and everyone's like, "You do what? That's weird." And they're like, "Well, you must know a thing or two about girls. We've never seen females or male-female dynamics approached from this particular angle before." And that's kind of how I ended up here. So
you don't do you do that still?
I have 3 girls who still work for me. But it's not like it was before. Before I had a very, very large company. At some points over 40, 50 girls working for me at a time. So
what made you slow it down?
I was making a lot of money, but it was a lot of headache. And then I've invested in a few other businesses. I own casinos now in Romania. So the only thing better than titties is gambling. So it makes me more money. So I just don't have the time to deal with all the girls like I did before, because it's a full-time job. It's a headache. And everyone thinks like you're living like Dan Bilzerian, but really you're dealing with arguments over makeup remover and screaming, crying girls. So I was kind of thinking in my head, well, can I open a strip club? Will I make money with a strip club? But at the time I didn't have money to invest in a strip club. And while I was doing my research, I discovered this whole webcam thing because I didn't even know it existed. I thought, pretty girls can sit on computers and make money. And that's kind of how it started. Went from there and ended up having a bit of a cam empire. At one point, I was doing $500,000 a month profit. So yeah, it got big, and that was it really. I never really was.
But not worth $500,000 a month. You're saying the headache was too big for $500,000 a month.
The thing is this.
You must have hated it. It must have gotten really bad.
When you're working with women, women are highly unpredictable. So, and women are not money motivated. So I got to a point where the only way you can really get the women to work for you, you have 2 choices. You either try and convince them into some kind of business arrangement, which doesn't work long term because women are emotional, or you get girls who are in love with you and do it because they love you and they want to do as you say and be around you.
Women working for me in 4 locations. I had one girl and she got too drunk one day and she threw up in my apartment. I told her to clean up. She refused to clean up, start being an idiot. So I took her stuff, threw out the window. If all the other girls see me be disrespected, they're going to lose respect for me. Fact. I didn't want to fire her, which is more reason why I had to fire her ass. Got her shit out the window, so throws out the window. Got her by her 2 arms and marched her out the door, locked the door. Texted me, "You owe me my last month's wages. I ain't paying you nothing." She went to the police and told the police I hit her.
This is how it starts. This is how law enforcement involvement with him starts.
5 in the morning, 4 4 months later, and I heard the door, boom, boom, and I heard police. There's a few things I can't say in the podcast. I've lived a varied life.
That is a form of self-snitching. That indicates that there's things out there that are illegal that he's done.
I've done some things when I had to pay the bill. What's this going to be? So I like flush my phone down the toilet quickly.
So I destroy evidence. Flush my phone down the toilet.
So I'm trying to hide shit. I'm looking around and what do I have to hide?
I'm hiding shit. I'm destroying evidence. One of the problems that you have with a guy like this is there's a treasure trove of statements that he makes that a prosecutor can use to impeach him with if he ever decides to testify.
End up with all these chicks just stuck in their house, sitting there bored, and of course they don't go out. They're not allowed out.
So I got all these chicks. They're in love with me. They don't go out. They're not allowed out. Restricting somebody of their movement is part of force, fraud, or coercion.
You stay in the house. You don't go nowhere. You're not, no restaurant, no club, nothing.
Do you get to eat? Do you get to take a shit? When you start controlling somebody like that, that is the crux of you come here on a promise, but when you get here, I control your every movement. That's coercion.
Forget the sex part. Start beating the shit out of you.
I grab you by your neck, start annoying me, trying to resist, I just
That is who he's got to be in order to control these women, in order to keep the money coming in. Because he was broke before, right? Now he's making money off the backs of all these ladies brought to him because they're in love with him. Their movement is restricted. According to him, they're beaten. That is slavery.
Let's start with the allegations. Have you raped anybody?
Listen to this.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I loved how much you hated it. Turned me on. Why am I like that? Why? I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather you didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to? That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this planet. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't pass out. Chill the out. Jesus Christ. I thought you were cool. What's wrong with you?
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Exploited any women for money?
Absolutely not.
Use what you got. I made a lot of money with webcam girls. If you're watching this, you don't know that. Webcam girls. You can go to chatterbait.com. You see girls on there on webcam, getting naked, talking to dudes, taking money. That made me millions and millions of dollars. I came up with that idea by sticking to this principle. Use what you've got. So right now, if you're sitting there, make a list of everything you have. And I mean everything. You have a house, let's say it's rented. You have a car, it's on lease. You have physical strength, let's say you're a strong guy. When I was making my list, I was writing everything down. I was like, well, I've got 6 girlfriends. 6 girlfriends. So, okay, how can girls make me money? Strip club, but that takes money to set up. Remember? Costs, money in. Strip club, I cannot get money in a strip club without a club. So I looked at all the costs for a strip club and realized it's too expensive before I could get money in. It's too big a risk. Remember? It's too much risk. I could lose 300-400 grand. Can't risk that. How can I get money in? How can I get money in for having hot girls without spending money out? So my first idea was strip club. But I looked at all the costs. I was like, okay, so why do men spend money on girls in strip club? Because the girls are beautiful. They get to look at the girls, see some titties. How can I do that without the club? Well, the internet. If I put them on the internet, it's cheap. This is literally how I thought. I stuck to my business principles. Okay, it's cheap. Start looking up, down, discovered the webcam websites. All right, so I've already got the girls. I've already got a laptop. I've already got the internet. Bang! The day I had the webcam idea, the same day I was making money. I didn't spend any money, but I was making new money because I refused to allow myself to spend. Then I started making new money in with the webcam because I knew I had the internet, I knew I had laptops, I knew I had girls. Use what you've got. Look around you. What people do you have? Does your old mother need a new job? Maybe she's at home and she's bored and she wants to, maybe she'll mail things for you.
First. So your bottom bitch has to know you're going to be out there. She has to know it. So look, we're going to run this business together. We're going to grow this business together. Right now, you're on camera and you're doing really good. In a year from now or 2 years from now, I don't want you on camera. I want you typing and the other girl's on camera. Let her sit there and go, yeah. Career, selling a dream, career progression, all the shit they do in normal jobs to keep the person slaving away. Eventually, you're going to be here. We're going to own this. You're going to make this much. Blah, blah, blah. But the only way we can do that is if we go have all these threesomes with all these girls, because these girls have to work for us, and they're not going to work if they don't love me, because they're going to run off.
So the only way me and you as a team are going to be rich people is if we go get a bunch of girls to suck my dick together. Do you agree? And if you do that right, she'll sit there and go, okay, let's do it. This is why people look at my Twitter and my Instagram shit like, how the f*** do you have all these girls? This is how. Look, a good bottom bitch who knows the game. I've had innumerable threesomes, but 80% of my threesomes have involved my number one girl. And then the other girl's just a swap out because she knows the game. I'll take her to the club. I'll just point at a girl and she'll just laugh because she knows I'm going to try and f*** that girl. So I don't have to do anything. I'll send her to go f*** a girl. Go talk to her. Go be her friend. Before you know it, they're all dancing and shit. I'll just rock up out of nowhere. She doesn't even know me. So you're both coming with me. And when my girl goes, all right, okay, then the other girl's a bit like, okay, let's go. Easy. Bottom bitch is the most important thing. So you got to get a good one. And you're only going to find a good one by a lot of hoes. Truth is this, man. Before I had this webcam business, I girls. I've got PhD. I've always been the best. But I wasn't militant with it. Like, I'd get a girlfriend. I'd here, there, but I didn't really care. But after I started this business and realized that the only way I can get girls to work for me is to them first, I became militant. It became my job to girls. I was ruthless. I'll be like, every day I'd send 20 Instagrams. Every day I was on a date. I was 4 girls, 5 girls a week. Because that's how I built my business. I built my business off the back of my dick. That's how I built it. That's how I got rich. So I became militant with the pimping. And my bottom bitch understood it. And she understood that perfectly.
But you have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women to work in the webcam industry for you.
No. You cannot get a girl to work for you having. So the recruitment process is the same as the PhD course. So yeah, on corporatate.com I have my PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree that I'm.
Clever.
And that teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me. Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. And that's how I got rich. So that teaches everything I know from start to finish about not only getting girls, not only obtaining them, but retaining them. Because that's a completely different game as well. Mm-hmm. So I teach everything I know in there. You message them on Instagram. The PhD course is my recruitment system. I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not a whore. It's just not gonna work. You continue as normal, no mention of webcam. You f the girl. After you f the girl, you do the PhD test. If she passes the PhD test and she wants to be with you, then you start mentioning things like, yeah, but you know, you're always busy. You're always at work. You can come work for me. So, as I said, you cannot try and approach girls to do webcam. Hi, do you want to do webcam? It's bullshit. It doesn't work. No one's going to say yes. And any girl who does say yes is doing it. She doesn't like you. She doesn't know you. She doesn't love you. She's saying yes purely for money. I'm going to sneeze. Any girl who wants money that bad is going to skank you and leave you when she realizes you get a big cut of it. So even if you do get a girl to say yes that way, even if you do say to a girl, look, let's make some money, she's only in it for the money. She's not in it to please you. And if she's only in it for the money, she's going to get pissed off with her cut. Because they're going to Google up how much a token's worth, how many tokens they made, and all that shit. They're going to get pissed off with their cut. Remember the tax thing, so you only have to pay them 30% instead of 50%. It's important for your profitability.
Once again, if any female on the planet has a problem with me, I strongly recommend her to go to the police and try and pursue me for criminal charges.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human trafficking. And I'm describing women who have spoken to the BBC at length.
Sophie doesn't exist.
And other media organisations about what they say is emotional manipulation and coercion. And I'm quoting back to you your own words. I'm saying that you have said you emotionally manipulated people here for your own financial gain.
No, absolutely not.
So you don't want a girl who's in it for money. You want a girl who's in it to be with you. So you meet a girl, you take her on dates, you f her, whatever. She passes the PhD test. Then you start saying things like, oh yeah, but you're always working. I have to do some traveling and you can't come. I want to bring you with me. Traveling's a great one because the thing about this business is mobile. if you can find a good Airbnb with good internet, you can run it somewhere else. So it's a good little caveat to throw in. And you're always working. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So I'll have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So, okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen, come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. You, your bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. My first girl was so good, it was easy. My girl would sit there and go, oh my God, before this I was a waitress and it was shit, and now I do this and I make so much money, and the guys all love me and they adore me, and on my birthday they send me presents, and I get so much money, blah, 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 and it's so much fun, and we stay at home, and da-da-da-da, and we're gonna go to Thailand soon, we're gonna be working in Thailand, and we're gonna stay there for as long as we want, you should come with us, it's gonna be so much fun, da-da-da-da.
National organisations who are saying that, are blaming you for increasing levels of misogyny, schools that are saying they are having increased incidents of girls being attacked, of female teachers being harassed
if that was
by
true,
pupils because of you and your teaching and your influence.
That's absolute garbage. I have never, ever encouraged a student to attack a teacher, male or female, ever. I preach hard work, discipline. I'm an athlete. I preach anti-drug. I preach religion. I preach no alcohol.
Martinis, 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 bang, threesome. Slam them both. Your bottom bitch knows. This girl's like, okay, well, I'll try it. Put both girls on camera together the first day, so the new girl can sit there and just sit with the other girl and get drunk. Give them a bottle of vodka, put on the chatterbait, 100 tokens per shot. The guys will send loads of money to get the girls drunk, because guys like drunk girls. Girls will sit there, get drunk, have a great time. You say it's your new job now. You haven't got to go to work ever again. That's how you recruit girls. You do not recruit girls any other way.
I know webcam girls is a very unusual business, and none of you have probably run webcam girls, but I learned a whole bunch about business running my webcam girls. In fact, I approached my webcam girl business the same as I approached every other business, with the same tenets. I started it for cheap with a laptop I already had and a girlfriend I already had. I found out how to get the money in before I found out how to produce the videos. I had people sending me money for these feature-length porn videos, and I couldn't even produce them. I didn't even have a fucking camera. Money first. All my same things. Speed, quickly, get everything produced quick. I did all the same things with all my businesses. The reason I can have so many girls listen to me is because I'm me. And I'm me because I'm big and strong. I'm Andrew Tate.
It's about what you have said that has caused such concern in the UK. And I want to put it to you that you don't really care about the harm it causes.
That's not true.
Because
that's not true.
Making controversial statements like this online has made you a lot of money.
What are you waiting for? Use what you got. You've already got people, there's cars, there's things happening. You're just not doing anything. Look around, make a full list of what you have, stick to the business principles, and find a way to get money in without spending money out. And you won't lose. That's what I did with the webcam company. And it made me millions of dollars. Millions. I ended up with huge numbers of girls. All because one girl. I started with one girl, made money, bought another laptop, got another girl, 2 girls, made money, bought a bigger apartment, 3 girls, 4 girls, 5 girls, bang, 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 bang. Before you know it, I had an empire of women. Because I stuck to my business principles. I never spent money I didn't make first. From my webcam company, which ended up generating over $7 million, I never once, ever spent money that I hadn't made.
Okay, so first thing, I genuinely am a force for good in the world. You may not understand that yet, but you will eventually. And I genuinely believe I'm acting under the instruction of God to do good things, and I want to make the world a better place.
If no one's sending you money in to give you the money you need, then the idea doesn't work anyway. So if I put these hoes on, I take that back. It's horrible. If I put these chicks on cam and no one was paying them, then they weren't hot enough to be in a strip club, were they? Luckily they were. I know my girls are hot. It's just an example. This way I get to find out if they're good enough for free. This way I get to find out if they're good enough for 200-300 grand. Think about it. Use what you've got.
I genuinely believe my legacy is a good legacy, and I believe that eventually when the legacy media catches up, they're going to understand I'm a good positive influence.
One of the issues that you're going to have for somebody that has multiple citizenship is whether they're a risk of flight or not.
If I fuck up, England wants me in jail, I can fly on a Nigerian passport, or an American, or an English. I have so many passports. Are you going to block them all?
And I'm quoting back to you your own words where you describe
they're not my words.
Coercion and emotional manipulation.
They're words you found on the internet, and Sophie doesn't exist.
On your
so let's
website,
move on to the next subject.
in your voice.
Let's move on to the next subject.
No, I think I'll stick on this one for a minute. So there's other places in that same website where you say you get girls to fall in love with you and they do it because they love you, because they want to do what you say.
Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me.
You f the girl. After you f the girl, you do the PhD test. If she passes the PhD test and she wants to be with you, then you start mentioning things like, yeah, but you know, you're always busy, you're always at work, you can come work for me.
Convincing women to take part in some kind of business arrangement doesn't work long term because they're emotional. You've got to get them to fall in love with you.
I got to a point where the only way you can really get the women to work for you, you have two choices. You either try and convince them into some kind of business arrangement, which doesn't work long term because women are emotional, or you get girls who are in love with you and do it because they love you and they want to do as you say and be around you.
That's coercion. That's emotional manipulation. That's abuse.
What you've found are clips from the internet, some text from the internet, and you're going to sit here and tell me that that's the reason I should be
your website, your words.
It's not my website.
I mean, I have my online school, which we'll talk about later, Hustlers University.
Yep.
That's already been valued. That was valued at $300 million.
When did you start Hustlers University?
A year ago.
A year ago. Fuck.
Yeah, and that's valued at $300 million.
Yeah.
So, but then I ain't gonna sell it. So, but then again, I had a valuation between 280 and 340. So again, how much money do I have?
So what are you charged with?
That's a really good question. I'm charged with being the head of an organized criminal group, which is in charge of recruiting girls to make TikTok videos to steal the money from the TikTok views.
Right. You're gonna run a webcam company. This is gonna be an interesting journey for you, that's for sure. This is serious business. So first things first, when you say webcam company, people assume, oh, it's just a sex fest and you know, it's just like you're like Hugh Hefner. When you're in the club with your workers, you look like Hugh Hefner, but in reality, it's a shitload of people management. The HR department, the HR category of the webcam business is the largest and most important thing. You're effectively taking girls, teaching them how to make unlimited money from home, and then making sure they give it all to you.
But the state believes it's true, and the state thinks that I, as a 35-year-old man, woke up. I was already extremely financially successful. I was already a father. I was already very well known. I had no financial motivation. I have no criminal record. It's not my personality profile, but I woke up at the age of 35 and decided to make girls do TikTok to enrich myself with the pennies that I would earn from TikTok views.
Your goal is to inspire a girl to make money and give you the money. So the way you're going to do that is you have to have some element of influence, and you're going to have that element of influence through her respecting you, looking up to you, and her believing she needs you. And this is extremely important, because at the beginning she will need you, but then she won't need you. But you have to keep that fallacy, keep that dream alive that she can't do this without you, to ensure that she doesn't do it without you.
So in the United States, I think the belief is that you were charged with human trafficking.
Yeah, that's human trafficking, because what you do is you force a girl to work against her will for financial gain. That's human trafficking. And their justification for this is that girls do TikTok. Some girls I know who they've found who say they're not victims have TikTok accounts.
How do you force someone to do TikTok videos?
I guess the prosecutor is going to have to explain that, isn't he? It's a very interesting scenario I'm in, and I'm inside of Romania, so I have to show a degree of respect to the Romanian judicial system. And I have to show a degree of respect to the situation I'm in. But the overall charge is that there's an organized criminal group. There's a group of us. I'm the head of it. My brother is below me. And we use the lover boy method to convince women to do TikTok videos to make money so that we can steal the TikTok money.
The website you were going to use is Chaturbate. Chaturbate is how you're going to get rich. So I got a pen and paper, and I was on YouTube, like researching, you know, how people make money, what millionaires have, and they kept talking about assets. And I was sitting there thinking, what assets do I have? You know, I'm trying to buy a property. I mean, I didn't own a property in the UK at the time, so they didn't pay me tax to anyone. I didn't want to pay taxes, so I didn't buy a house to confirm me. So I was like, what assets do I have? Okay, I have a car, I have this, I have that. And then I realized I had about 5 girlfriends, all smoking hot. And females are an asset. So when I realized I had all these assets, I had to find a way to monetize the assets. I knew some street pimps. I've known them for a long time. Straight street pimping is
In fact, no, it's not a completely different game. The psychological aspect is the same of what we're going to do. The skill I'm going to teach you is exactly the same. I could easily translate mine to a street business, and you could easily street pimp with the things I'm going to teach you. But I didn't want no one else to fuck my girl. That's the truth. My girls. I want to fuck my girls. I want some other guy to fuck my girls. The fuck's point in that? So, long story short, blah, 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 blah. Discovered webcam and went from there. Flew all 5 girls in at once. Sat them all down, so I've been going out with all of you. Here's the truth. Starting a business, you want to make money or not. 2 decided to stay. 3 started crying, got back on the plane, because they're all different places in the world. I had them from when I was fighting, so I went and fought in Slovakia, got a girlfriend. Went and fought in France, got a girlfriend. Went and fought, so I had all the girls around the world. So I told them all to fly in, sat them all down together. They're like, who the fuck are all these other girls? I was like, okay, truth time. Bang. I'm a G, but f*** you all. I'm going to start a business, you're all going to live here with me. 3 got back on the plane, 2 decided to stay. 2 weeks later, 1 left, and so I was left with 1. But starting with 1 is good. But those 2 weeks, I put them together a few times, so it's fine. It's important. I'm telling you, it's a very important element, that control. Because once the money starts pouring in, the girls will be like, well, what the f*** do I need this dude for? And they will leave if you don't have every aspect under control. Next, tax. Going back to tax quickly, when we talk about the fault audit thing. Tax is also another important element for controlling your woman. You're not going to pay anybody tax because you're getting paid in Bitcoin. So you don't need to pay tax to anybody. But you need to tell your girl that you're paying the tax. Because girls are lazy, and girls are stupid, and girls don't understand how taxes work. So the girl's working with you, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we've made this much money, but I'm going to pay the tax to make sure we don't get in trouble. She'll sit there and go, okay, okay. Now that allows you to do 2 things. 1, it's another control element. If I work with him, my tax is not a problem. If I do it alone, I have to deal with taxes. Taxes are complicated. So control element. Secondly, it allows you to pay her a smaller percentage. So I used to pay my girls 30%. So for every $10,000 they made, I'd give them 3, and I'd keep 7. They thought they were on 50%. And I said that the disparity is because of taxes. So you're on 50%, but we had to pay the tax first, and then it's 50-50. If they say, why is it 50-50? Because I'm the one on camera. You say, because I'm the one typing. I'm the one with the property you're working in. I'm the one paying the bills, the electricity. I'm the one who's, and the electricity and every other maintenance cost of this property. I'm the one who bought the equipment. I'm the one who knows what he's doing. I'm the one with the knowledge. I'm the da-da-da-da-da-da. Shut the f*** up. Go online. And they should be pretty happy with that if they respect you as a person overall. So really you're paying 30. You tell them you're paying 50. The difference is in the tax. That's where the disparity lies, taxes. If they don't believe you or they want to get fresh or whatever, print out some tax forms. I used to do this all the time. I used to print out some random tax forms and say, yeah, sign here and sign this. What is it? It's for the tax. You want to pay the tax or not? Oh, okay. And they just sign away. They don't know what the f*** is signing. I'll throw them away afterwards. But they think something's happening. Something real is happening. Nothing's happening besides me getting rich, bitch. Anyway, so tax is another important element to keep control of the girl.
This has been the most comprehensive video anywhere on the internet about Andrew Tate's lies and crimes, and if I had more time, I could add even more to this video. It took me 24 hours to watch all these old Andrew Tate videos, compile and edit this 25-minute movie of him self-snitching. Let me start off by saying I think everybody owes Lucy Williamson from the BBC an apology. The Matrix doesn't need to have agents trying to get him. He's the biggest self-snitch of all time. Andrew Tate has had 3 interviews now since being released on house arrest. One with the BBC, one with Patrick Bet-David, and one with Tucker Carlson. One interview seemed unfair, and 2 showed favoritism with no pushback or follow-up questions and spun the truth. We have yet to get any real interview with Andrew Tate that is impartial and in the middle. I wish I could meet him because I could definitely give him that interview. I love Andrew Tate's message for men, but the things he's accused of, along with his past, has sullied the good message he has been trying to deliver to men recently. It's all a ruse. We must admit that along with some good advice he may say, he says a lot of bad things, lies included. Maybe some of the charges against him are false. They could be fabricated, but more than likely they're real. I don't know for certain, But the guy, once upon a time, was a pimp at the very least, because he did not make enough as a lightweight kickboxing champion to live the lavish lifestyle he does now with a big 7-bedroom mansion, or owning 3 mansions as he states, and dozens of cars, including his boasting of his much talked about Bugatti. His gains have come from somewhere. Do I believe they were ill-gotten gains from starting a webcam business, pimping women, and taking most of their earnings? Yes, I do. Let it be clear, Andrew Tate is not a role model, and he needs to be punished for his past crimes. There's one more thing that I would like to state. I did not include it inside this video, but I have read I believe it was an 11 or 12 page indictment that was translated from the Romanian language into English, and I'm going to leave a link down for that available for you all to read, and that's just icing on the cake for what this is. And for the 25 minutes that I put inside of this video, just know that there's even more evidence out there of him self-confessing to his own crimes in his own words. Notice how for these 25 minutes that I did not interrupt, I did not say anything. These are not my words. All of these lies that have come into the light and the crimes that he has committed has all been from his own voice. So there's that. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Salute to you wherever you may be out inside the world, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And until next time, gentlemen, keep it classy. I'm out.